Hello and welcome to day 6 of 30 Days of Yoga. My name is Kim with Lotus Rhythm Yoga, and today we will be doing one of my favorite styles of practice, which is Yin. If you are new to Yin or new to my channel, welcome. I absolutely love this style of yoga. Now it's going to be quite slower. We want to think about getting into the pose at maybe 40%. We don't want to be going as far as we physically feel like we can into these postures. That's where we are going to find ourselves getting hurt. We have nothing to prove in these postures. We're going to be sitting in them for a few minutes at a time. So really give your body some space and some patience and really connect with your breath and just focus more about how the shape feels in your own body instead of comparing how you look to either me or if you're practicing with somebody else next to you. And one thing to think about with yin is that we do use props. If you don't have props, don't worry. There's no need to rush out to the store and spend a whole bunch of money. If you have yoga blocks, great. If you don't, that's totally fine too. You don't really need them. Um, but when it comes to something like a bolster, I recommend just getting like a large pillow or a couple of pillows, even like a couch cushion or even some throw pillows just to help give you that extra support that we are looking for in yin. So let's take a few moments to get yourself together. I apologize in advance. I'm fighting a little bit of a winter cold here, so hopefully I'm not sniffling and doing all sorts of noises in your ear. So today, yeah, let's get comfortable, get into some yin, and our affirmation for today is I am perfectly imperfect. All right, let's grab our stuff and we'll get ready. All right, so let's get started. Now, depending on whether you have a bolster, cushion, or yoga blocks, we're going to start with a little inversion and do a supported bridge. So when you're ready, come on down onto your spines, setting yourself up, getting really comfy and cozy on your back. You will start by bending your knees, and whether it is a block or a bolster, what you're going to do is you're going to press into your feet just enough to raise your hips, and you're going to slide whatever prop that is underneath your sacrum. Now, your sacrum is that nice flat piece behind your hips. You don't want the bolster under your bum, and you don't want it under your low back. But you do want it supporting your actual hip girdle. So once you have found where that sits comfortably, you can either stay here with your knees bent, your arms are going to come to your sides, and now this is kind of where it comes to yogi's choice. You can keep your knees as this, you can take your feet together, allow your knees to drop open, or you can walk your feet out. It just kind of really depends on the intention that you're setting for yourself in your yoga pose. Now, normally with yin, I don't say a lot, so really I want to get you set up into the posture that feels comfortably uncomfortable for you. And we're going to sit there. Me personally, I really like to stretch into the hip flexors, so I'm going to walk my feet out. We're going to take the first few moments here in breaths to really nourish ourselves, take the time to arrive here on the mat. Full inhales through the nose, full exhales through the mouth. Maybe even closing your eyes, scanning your body with just some awareness. No judgment, no biases, just be. At any point you are finding there is pinching, pulling, pain, come out of this pose just a little bit. Maybe that means that if you have your legs extended, you walk them back in. Really in these postures, we just want to be feeling something. You're feeling it. You're doing it. And breathe. Knowing that we sit in these postures for a longer period of time and the mind starts to wander, that's absolutely fine. Just gently guiding it back to your surroundings and to your breath. Try to be as present as possible. And trying to do your best to stay still. It's easy for us to start to fidget. But are you fidgeting to avoid the little bit of discomfort? Avoid being present in your body? And just thinking with your breath, with every inhale, to soften, and every exhale, to release. We're just going to have 5 more deep breaths right here. And on your last inhale, if you have your legs extended or your knees wide, you can slowly start to guide them back through. Soles of the feet planted, knees bent. No rushing, taking your time. Ever so softly, you're going to press into the feet just enough to raise your hips enough to grab that block or bolster and press it off to the side. You walk your feet wide, allow the knees to drop in, maybe belly come, or hands come to belly. And just noticing sensations after the pose. This is called the rebound in yin. You really want to sit in those sensations and not rush from posture to posture. Excellent. We're going to now walk those ankles to about hip width distance apart. We're going to do a reclined pigeon pose. So we're going to keep the bend in through our right knee, but allow the knee to open up to the side. And now you're going to take that right ankle and lay it over your left thigh. Just really allow that hip to open up to the side. That nice right angle is going to help keep that knee nice and protected. Now you can stay absolutely right here. This is perfect. Or you can start working with blocks or props and seeing how it feels if you were to put that left foot up on a block. Maybe that right there is good for you. So maybe you have the mobility and the openness to clasp your hands behind that left thigh, but really we want to make sure that we're not forcing ourselves into our pose. So I'm not coming up on my shoulder so that I can reach that leg. I'm not allowing my hips to roll in so that I can reach and bring that leg closer to me. No, we want a nice, long, tall spine. And if that means we need to use that prop to just put under our foot, that is absolutely fine. You have nothing to prove. Finding the way that this posture suits you, that is the goal. I'm just taking a few moments to find this posture. And setting yourself up, finding that breath, only coming into the pose enough so that we feel a little expansion, not the peak pose. You want to be able to relax your muscles in these yin postures. Kind of a little bit of the opposite is what we do in our regular hatha class. Yin is amazing for the joints, so that when we are able to relax our muscles, we're able to put a positive stress on our joints. And this stress is good. This is a good stress. This is a stress where the density of these tissues is a lot different than our muscles. So to get any sort of change, you kind of have to sit in some of these positions and allow that little bit of tension to create change. Coming back to that affirmation of I am perfectly imperfect. I thought that went pretty good with what I like to remind myself in yin is that I am comfortably uncomfortable. I am perfectly imperfect. See, those go pretty good hand in hand. Noticing how the breath feels. Are you clenching through the jaw? Holding your breath. Maybe coming out of the pose ever so slightly. Let's take 2 more big deep breaths right here. Excellent. If you have that left leg up in the air or on a block, gently just bringing it back down to the ground. You can remove whatever block defects that you may have around. Before you just rush to get out of this posture, we're going to actually go into a little cow face pose from here. So you're going to cross that right leg over top of your left. You can walk your feet wide. Maybe you can hold on to opposite foot. Maybe not. We don't want to be pushing ourselves and forcing ourselves in any sort of shape. But you can also see how it feels if you were to start to pull those knees in towards the chest. You can't reach those feet, see if you can reach those knees, or you can always grab, a belt, a leash, a loop of some sort, and wrap it around your knees to help guide you. A towel works too. And just breathing, full inhales, full exhales, not curling your hips up too much. You still want that tailbone down to the ground. My shoulders are down on the ground. We're just bringing the knees closer into the body. And breathe. I don't know if you guys can hear the whoops, but my dogs are literally just outside the frame. I apologize. We've had some crows lately pestering our chickens. And they now have decided that that is their job to alert when we get pros. So our visitors must be back to end. You're checking in with yourself, checking with your breath. If you're noticing the sensation of each pose is changing the longer you sit in it, that's completely normal as well. That's just your body's way of either inviting you deeper into the pose or just reminding you that maybe you're pushing it a little bit too hard. Yin is big on that mind-body connection. What is your body trying to tell you, and are you open enough to listen? Let's have two more big breaths here. I know this one can be quite intense. It's lovely. Glute. Over here, get into the hips. You can't tell, this yin class is definitely a hip focus class. But we could all use a little more hip opening. Okay, looks like I've lied to you. So on your next exhale, you can start to release. And we're going to take the feet wide, allow the knees to drop in towards each other. Just take your hands to your belly. Just taking a breath here. All right, we're going to do one more pose on this side before we even ourselves out. It's just going to be a really nice reclined twist. So you want to set yourself up for whatever feels best and most comfortable again for your body. But we're going to pick our hips up, shift them over to the right side of our mat, and then you can just literally take both knees, allow them to fall over to the left, stacking the one hip on top of the other. Stack one knee on top of the other. The elbows, the arms can come to a cactus or a C-shape. Kind of depends on what you have space for. And your gaze maybe drops over the right shoulder. As you breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Both shoulders stay nice and down on the mat. If you find that your knees don't go all the way down to the ground over there, not a problem. That's where those lovely props come in. So you can take one of your props, your pillows, and place it underneath your knees, or you can even place it in between your knees. It can feel quite nice to give your knees a little bit and your hips a little bit more support. Like so. Just really playing with props. If you're a yogi that doesn't believe in props, let me tell you that Yin is a very heavily prop-focused class. It's about bringing the floor closer to you, making all these postures more accessible. You want to feel support and comfort in these poses. So I believe in having all the props. It doesn't mean you have to rush out and go buy all the props. Just whatever pillows or thick books or cushions or whatever you can find around the house works just fine as well too. Full inhale, full exhale. Take 3 big deep breaths right here. On your next inhale, you can slowly bring one knee up, then the other, then coming onto your spine. I like to take my feet nice and wide, allow the knees to drop in on each other. It just is a really nice reset for the hips and low back. Probably feeling pretty lopsided. I know I am. That's okay. We're gonna even ourselves out here on the other side. When you're ready, let's set up for that same sequence on the other side. So this time we are going to have our feet nice and parallel towards each other, knees bent on the mat. You allow your left knee to flop open to the side, and you're going to take your left ankle and just bring it over top of your right thigh. Now again, really allow and accentuate that knee to open up. You can even physically take your fingers and press your knee out. And from here, you can either stay exactly where you are, or you can see how it works with those props and pillows. You can start to maybe see how it feels to put one underneath your right foot. Maybe this right here is exactly where you need to feel this, into the back of the hips and into the glutes. Or you can use, again, a prop if you'd like, or even your hands just holding onto the back of the right thigh. But just really, I want to make sure that you are not curling up through the head and neck or really curling up through that tailbone. Keep your tailbone down towards the mat. Use whatever props or towels or anything you need to help set you up in the posture, make the posture right for you. And settle into the pose with your full inhale, full exhale. 100% normal if one side feels completely different than the other. We don't wear down our body equally on both sides. So of course, that's going to show up in our yoga practice. I am perfectly imperfect. Just doing a check-in with your breath, check in with your thoughts. Softening and releasing with every breath. Sitting in these postures for as long as we do in yin, really get our mind going. Definitely, definitely a way to work on your mental toughness. Knowing you shouldn't be in pain at any point, but a little bit of discomfort is fine. Comfort is where the change happens. Two more breaths right here. Excellent. On your exhale, you can start to move the prop if you have your foot up on that or anything. Gently moving it off to the side. And we're going to allow our left knee to cross over top of our right, trying to line up those knees as much as possible. Again, you can use a towel or a dog lead or a yoga strap, any of those kind of things to help bring those knees toward you. Maybe you have the reach in your arms to hold on to opposite foot. You're just going to gently guide those knees in. The same sort of concept as in our reclined pigeon. We really want our tailbone to be rolled down to the mat as well as keeping our shoulders down and rooted. Like I said, those props to help make your arms longer, to help reach around those knees is always great. Full inhale, full exhale. Your hips are going to feel absolutely glorious after this. And hopefully your low back too. Usually works hand in hand if our hips are tight. Usually it's pulling on our low back. Which I know that here in my body. Noticing if there's any hardness coming to your face, your brows, your thoughts, your jaw. Soften and release. Just a few more breaths here. You've got this. We're almost done. Okay. Ever so softly, you can start to release, unwrap those legs, take your feet wide, allow the knees to collapse in. Just taking a few moments here. No rushing. The next pose is coming. Don't you worry. All right, let's set up for that recline twist on the other side. So this time we're going to just press into the feet just enough to shift our hips over to the left side of the mat. And now you can allow the knees to drop over to the right. Again, whatever feels best for you. You can have a pillow or a bolster underneath the knees. Maybe in between the knees feels really nice. Or maybe you feel that you don't need anything at all. Really, you have nothing to prove in this pose. You just want to be able to feel a lovely stretch across the back, the low back, over into the hips. Both of your shoulders are going to stay nice and grounded onto the mat. Maybe your gaze falls over to the left, maybe not. You're just taking your time to set up in this reclined twist. full inhale, full exhale. And checking in with yourself, maybe scanning through the body. Where can you find yourself just 10% softer? Just 5 more big breaths right here. Ever so softly, you're going to bring the body back through center, and we're going to set up for the final resting pose of Shavasana, taking your time, taking up lots of space. Feet go nice and wide, even wider than the mat. Palms shine up. Roll those shoulders back and down the body, knowing that if you are having any low back sensitivities in the Shavasana, you can always take a pillow, prop it up underneath your knees. It actually feels really quite nice. But just taking these few moments at the end of our practice, really allowing ourselves to digest and absorb all the movements we've been just asking ourselves to do. Just release. Gently, you're going to bring your awareness back to your surroundings. You wiggle through the fingers and the toes, swirling out through the wrist and the ankle, taking your hands overhead for a big good morning stretch. As you hug your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a hug, a squeeze. And gently rolling yourself back up and coming to a comfortable seated position. All right. Thank you so much for completing day 6 of my 30 days of yoga. Share, subscribe, all the wonderful things to help keep free yoga on the internet. Thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 7. Namaste.